man behind the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Kevin Feige, has rather solemnly claimed that upcoming Avengers: Infinity War will bring things you've never seen in superhero films, a finale. While he obviously isn't going to end the multi-billion-dollar franchise, it does heavily imply that the oldest Phase 1 superheroes will be killed off to end a definitive Marvel chapter. But would he really do that? This seems the logical step considering most of them have been with us for nearly 10 years, and Marvel needs to refresh its characters before it becomes too clustered. With 76 characters apparently appearing in Infinity War, we only know of 44. The only way to avoid this inevitable fight for screen time is to have some of the original Avengers culled. To use a rather cold method to explain how Marvel will most likely decide who to kill off: first in, first out. With important superheroes like Black Panther and Captain Marvel who will be brought to the forefront of Phase 5, it does bring it to question if Iron Man and Captain America are really relevant anymore, or relics of a bygone era. Captain America Chris Evans, the living embodiment of Captain America, has recently made it clear that he will not appear in any Marvel films post-Avengers 4, which leaves little doubt that he will be one of the first to fall. Whether he actually perishes in Infinity War or Avengers 4 is the biggest question, as while he appears to be one of the highest billed in Infinity War, this by no means guarantees his safety for the sequel. Marvel wants to pull at the heartstrings and prove they are taking their superheroes' demises seriously, having only properly killed off secondary characters before, such as Quicksilver and Yondu, and what better way to do so than to tragically kill off one of the original Phase 1 team. While Captain America was the last of the Phase 1 to have his standalone film, which debuted the year before Avengers Assemble, he ties Iron Man for the most MCU appearances with 9, if you include his cameos. After Marvel has exposed its audience to Captain America every year since the first Avenger, a level of emotional investment in the blonde-haired, blue-eyed patriot has been built, and whose death will be drawn out for major impact on the rest of the team and the story. However, when Steve Rogers is finally buried, Bucky Barnes will be deployed, a major player who has been patiently waiting in the wings to take over the title of Captain America, exactly like he does in the comics. 7. Iron Man Robert Downey Jr. is indisputably the heart of the MCU, having been the first face that greeted audiences 10 years ago in Iron Man, to his recent mentoring of Peter Parker in last year's Spider-Man: Homecoming. For this reason he is almost a certain death this April, as, similar to Captain America, he has been a constant in Marvel's 10-year run, and killing him off, most likely in Avengers 4, would be a way for Marvel to signal the end of a chapter in the MCU and prove they can start a new one without such a powerful figure. This could also explain the return of Pepper Potts, as, after their impromptu engagement in Spider-Man: Homecoming, Tony Stark's death could be seen through her eyes, which would make for an even more emotional ending to everyone's favorite genius billionaire playboy philanthropist. Looking at Downey Jr.'s upcoming projects too, a Dr. Dolittle reboot, a Pinocchio remake, and Sherlock Holmes 3, he will be committed to these for the next few years, giving Marvel no choice but to make this its last outing. Hulk: The Hulk has had the most turbulent ride of all his peers, as while he was indeed in Phase 1, he was originally played by Edward Norton before being replaced with Mark Ruffalo due to Norton's displeasure with the final cut of 2008's The Incredible Hulk. His future, however, is perhaps the most closed off of all the Avengers, as while rumors of a Hulk solo film have been constantly circulating, Thor: Ragnarok's Planet Hulk storyline is the closest Ruffalo will get due to rather boring legal disagreements between Marvel and Universal. It is unlikely that Ruffalo's Hulk will be killed off alongside Captain America and Iron Man. However, instead, he will isolate himself on another planet similar to his exit from Age of Ultron. This allows a focus on the new superheroes like Black Panther and Spider-Man, while constantly teasing a possible Hulk return in the near future. With a lack of future for the Hulk after what is being called the Hulk problem, the chances that he will stick around in the main spotlight of the MCU another 10 years seem slim. Thor: Chris Hemsworth appears the most eager of the Phase 1ers to keep wearing Thor's cape for the time being, and particularly after his makeover in Ragnarok, it feels like Thor's been given a new lease of life. While the Infinity War trailer shows Thanos' hand holding the God of Thunder's head like it's a grape, this shows that he is fairly safe from peril. In the same way War Machine's injured body was shown in Civil War's trailer, Marvel would not show such a scene if Thor were to bite the dust. Thor will more than likely have a fairly irregular role in the future of the MCU, having the advantage of being able to conveniently leave Earth and the Marvel timeline to rebuild his home world of Asgard after its destruction in Ragnarok. Like the Hulk, he can be made to disappear and reappear at the convenience of future Marvel stories. However, Thor's adopted brother, Loki, is destined to bite the dust as while he is considered the strongest Marvel villain, which admittedly does not mean much. His story feels like it is in desperate need of a conclusion. It would almost make sense for Thor's moving storyline to involve Loki dying in his arms, properly this time. After years of rivalry and one-upping each other, finally they can make their peace in an emotional send-off. 4. Black Widow. If any of the Phase 1 heroes can be considered safe from death in Infinity War and Avengers 4, it is Black Widow. Despite being a secondary character during the early films, Black Widow is one of the most popular Marvel characters, which may be due to her being the only female kick-ass superhero in the whole of Phase 1. Her safety is guaranteed as she has not had a real chance to shine, and many fans are waiting for her opportunity to do so in a Black Widow solo movie. While it is constantly being discussed and petitioned for by fans, with Jack Schaffer now supposedly penning a script for it, there would be mass outrage if Scarlett Johansson